Good afternoon, ma'am. Tapos good afternoon, classmate. Ito po yung ginawa namin PPT para sa reporting group 1 po, ma'am. Ang title po ay The Concept of Return. What is return? It is also known as a financial return in its simplest term in the money made or lost on an investment over some period of time. Ano daw po? Ang return daw po hindi daw po pag nag-business ka daw po, ayan. Kaya po ang pag nagpa-financial ka daw, possible daw may mabalik, tapos possible daw may mawala ng money kapag manegosyo ka po, ayan, kay po ang garot kay po ano pong magsugal para financial mo maibalik sa imo. Ano ayan, number 2. A return is the change in price of an asset, investment, or project over time, which may be represented in terms of price change or percentage change. Number 3, a positive return represents a profit, while a negative return makes a loss. What are the different types of returns? How are they measured? Nominal return. A nominal return is the net change in value of an investment over a time period, including any tax or fees paid for the investment or cash flow, like dividends received as a result of the investment. It is calculated by subtracting the purchase price of an investment from its current value. For example, Merrill invested 1,000 in a stock, and after 1 year, the value of the stock has increased to 1,200. To calculate the nominal return, you will use the following formula. The formula is nominal return 1,200 minus 1,000 equal 200. So the nominal return on Merrill's investment over the 1 year is 200. This means that including any tax, fees, or dividends, the value of your investment increased by 200 over the 1 year period. Total return. Total return, unlike nominal return, takes into account both tax and fees paid for an investment, any cash flow received via the investment is calculated by subtracting the purchase price of an asset, including any associated fees and tax, from the current value of the investment, including any dividends or cash flow received as a result. Ang formula ng return, total return formula, total return equals current value plus any cash flow received divided by purchase price plus any tax or fees. For example, si May nag-invest ng 1,000 in a tax, and after 1 year, the value of the tax has increased to 1,200. Additionally, they receive 15 dividends over the year. The stock also had a brokerage
Brokerage.
Had a brokerage fee of 20 pesos when may purchase it. To calculate the total
Broker ka.
return, may you use the
Broker.
following formula.
Broker.
Total return equal 1,200 plus 50 divided by 1,000 plus 20. Total return 1,250 dinivide niya sa 1,020. Tapos ang total return is 2,247 or ang percent 122.47%. So the total return on the investment over the 1 year is approximately 122.47%. This means that including the purchase price, brokerage fee, and divided receipt, the investment grow by about 122% over the 1 year period.
Real return. The real rate of return is adjusted for changes in prices due to inflation or other external factors. This method expresses the nominal rate of return in real terms, which keeps the purchasing power of a given level of capital constant over time. Inflation is a measure of how much the prices or goods and services have gone up over a particular period of time, usually measured via the Consumer Price Index or CPI. Inflation reduces the value of money in terms of what it can buy. In this sense, real return expresses the return on an investment in terms of purchasing power. Real return, real return equals, open parenthesis, plus 1 nominal or rate, total rate of return, close parenthesis, divide, open parenthesis, plus 1 plus inflation rate minus 1. Example, Gina invested $1,000 in a stock and after 1 year, the value of the stock has increases to $1,200. The nominal or total rate of return is 1,200 minus 1,000 divide $1,000 equals 0.20 or 20%. Now, let's assume the inflation rate over the same period was 2% as measured by the Consumer Price Index or CPI. Real return 1 plus 0.20 kasi ang 1,200 minus 1,000 magiging 200. Tapos naging 20%. Tapos sa baba, inaro lang ka-auto. Tapos, so 2%, 20% tig-divide sa 2%, tapos tig-minus ng 1. So, 1.20, so 1 tig-plus sa 0 sa 20%. Divide 1.2 minus 1. Ang magiging real return niya is 0.65 or 17.65%. So, the real return on Sheena's investment over 1 year adjusted for 2% inflation rate is approximately 17.65%. This means that in terms of purchasing power, Sheena's effectively grow by about 17.65% over 1 year period. Return on investment or ROI. Return on investment is measured of the return generated by each dollar invested in an asset. It means the same thing as rate of return and is calculated by the same way by subtracting the purchase price of an investment from its current value, then dividing the result by the purchase price to yield of percentage return. ROI is calculated as the net profit during a certain time divided by the cost of investment, which is then multiplied by 100 to express the ratio of a percentage. The equation looks like this. For example, Jane invested $10,000 in particular stock. After 1 year, the stock value has increases to $12,000. To calculate ROI, Jane would use following formula. ROI equals net income divide investment times 100. Naging 2,000 ang net profit niya kasi ang 12,000 minus ang $10,000 tapos naging siyang 2,000 ang tada. Tapos ang final value of investment niya 10,000. Tapos 12,000 minus 10,000 equals 2,000. Di naging ang net profit niya 2,000 tapos initial niya investment 10,000. Tapos ide 2,000 divide over 1,000, 10,000 divide, tapos ita times 100. Tapos magiging 0.2 times 100. Tig times pala ito, tapos naging 0.2 tapos tig times 100 magiging 20%. So, the ROI of Jane's investment is 20%.
The return on equity is a metric that expresses a company net income over a certain period, usually a year. As a percentage of its total shareholders' equity, the result is the amount of income generated per dollar of invested capital. Yan na guys ang formula. Then, may example kami is Choco-Peeling business as a net income of $100,000 and total shareholders equity of $500,000 US. Araw lang po ka na eh. 100,000 divide lang sa 500,000, then makuha mo ng 20%, ay 0.20, then tira, ano mo na lang yan, round off na lang, then 20% na. Okay. The ROI for the business is 20%. This means that for every dollar invested in shareholders' equity, the business is generated $20.20 US in net income. Yan lang guys, standard lang nito yung ini formula lang. Madali man lang wala. Next. Next pala ng return on assets o ROA. Return on assets, ROA, is a profitability ratio calculated as net income divided by average total asset that measures how much net profit is generated for each dollar invested in asset. And it determines financial leverage and whether enough is earned from asset used to cover the cost of capital. Net income divided by average total asset equals ROA. Formula guys, yun naman, net income divide total asset. Parehas lang sa mo. Example, Choco-Peeling has a net income of $50,000 and total asset worth $500,000. Yan, parehas man sana guys. Yan o. 50 divide 500, malos dyan, yung 0.10, tapos, ano na lang, 10%. Ano? For more questions, just leave your comment.
Measuring of returns. Return on equity, or ROE, is a measure of company financial performance. It is calculated by dividing net income by shareholders' equity. Because shareholders' equity is equal to company's assets minus its debt, ROE is a way of showing a company's return on net assets. So, ang ibig sabihin daw po ang return on equity sa pag-compute or measures of company, ibig sabihin na pag calculated or i-divide ang net income by shareholders' equity. So, ang equal daw po is the company assets and minus its debt. So, ang kaluluwasan daw po ang ROA or return on equity.
Okay. Return on assets. The purpose of return on asset is to understand the profit a business generates a percentage of its total asset. So, sabi po dyan, ang purpose daw po ng return of asset na para daw po makita yung percentage or yung total ng ari-arian ng isang company. And if a company generates a higher ROE, that company is considered more efficient at turning its investment into profit. So, sabi po dyan, kapag yung generates is, yung ROE niya is halangkaw daw po or mataas, kinakonsider po, kapag nakonsider po siya ng efficient or is yung kumbaga turning po siya sa investment yung isang profit or yung ari-arian po.
Return on investment. ROI tends to be simplest and most common profitability. Calculation used to determine the efficiency of investment. The ratio looks on the gain or loss of an investment as a percentage of the cost. So, ROI is... So, kung babalikan natin yung kaninang slide na concept of return, under siya ng nominal return, which is the formula to get ROI is ROI is equal to net profit divided by cost times 100%. So the main purpose of this investment ROI is to know the percentage of the whole profit among the cost.
So, continuation of our report. Our report tells about an investment risk session prepared by our group, Business Advocacy, Alarm Charity, Aureliano Canini. So, investment risk refers to the potential of an investment and of an investor to lose some of or all of the money invested in a particular asset or investment vehicle. This risk can arise from various factors including market fluctuation, economic downturns, and unforeseen events that can negatively impact the performance of an investment. So, investment risk tells about the negative na nararanasan ng mga investors na, say for example ko dito yung pandemic na possible na baba yan po na include dyan yung market fluctuation, yung pagbabago ng market at pagbabago ng ekonomiya. Then, there are several types of investment risk including the market risk, reinvestment, credit risk, operational risk, liquidity risk, and inflation risk.
Number 1 is market risk. This is the risk of losses due to changes in market conditions such as interest rates, card prices, and commodity prices. Isa example dito is kung halimbawa nagbayad ka ng stock sa isang company, example yung Apple, magiging part kang owner, di ba? Digdiyo sa market risk, maapektuhan yung investment mo kasi kung ang price ng ang Apple is nag-rise, yung investment mo din is tataas din. Pag nagbaba din yan, is maapektuhan din yung investment mo. Magda-down siya. So nakaka-apekto din yung market risk na investment. Number 2 is credit risk. This is the risk of losses due to the borrower's failure to repay a loan or meet their financial obligation. Tigri sa credit risk is yung mga hindi nabayaran na nag-utang sa imo. Kunyari, di ba sa mga bank, may mga borrower na dumana, they nababayaran fully. So, naapektahan yung mga investors duman. So, sa pag-invest, kahit puhan din yung dapat alam mo kung anong mga disadvantages or advantages. So, kahit puhan talagang mapanuri sa pagpili ng mga bonds na gagamitin. Then, operational risk. This is the risk of losses due to internal or external events such as fraud, natural disasters, or system failures. Hindi yun is yung mga investors na, di ba for operational, kumare, isang business na may kinukuha ng kang suppliers, di ba? Kung sa lang supplier mo, kung ang supplier mo ito is, di ka na nasa supplier, so sa operational risk mo is maapektuhan siya. So, bababa din yung mga investment mo, mababa din dahil sa operational risk na nakapekto.
The fourth investment risk is liquidity risk. This is the risk of not being able to buy or sell an investment quickly or at a favorable price due to a lack of buyer or seller in the market. So, pag sinabi natin liquidity risk, nandiyan na yung panganib kapag hindi nabibenta or hindi nabibentaan yung produkto na in-invest. So, possibly, nagkakaroon siya ng panganib dahil walang bibili dun sa mo. So, next is inflation risk. This is the risk of losing due to the erosion of purchasing power caused by raising price. So, nagkakaroon dyan ng inflation. Pag sinabing inflation, yung pagtaas. So, kapag nag-invest ka, nagkakaroon ng panganib or nagkakaroon ng panganib dahil sa pagkalugi ng investment. Dulot ng pagtaas ng mga presyo. Reimbursement risk. Is the risk that future cash flow, like interest from banks, will have to reinvest it at a lower return rate than the original investment. So, reinvestment risk, nagkakaroon dyan ng pagkalugi dahil kapag, for example, kapag namumuhunan ka ng di ba, pag nag-invest ka, meron tayong interest. So, kapag nagbaba yun, lower return. So, pag nagkaroon ng mababa yung katulad ng inflation, nagtaas, so mababa yung makukuha mo. So, magiging yung return na yun na makukuha mo din ay mababa. So, for example of that, a company issue capable bond within 8% interest rate. Interest rate subsequently dropped to 4%, represented the company with opportunity to borrow at much as lower rate. So, siyempre, ang example dyan is yung interest rate daw ay 8%. So, subsequently dropped po daw ay 4% present ng ang company. So, ang mangyayari niyan, kapag bumaba yung rate, ay maghihiram yung company para ano yung investment po.
So now let us discuss the time value of money. So the definition of money is it is available at the present time is worth more than the identical sum in the author due to its potential earnings capacity. So what it means is kapag meron tayong money, hindi natin siya pwedeng itago lang kung saan na side or papabayaan lang natin kasi hindi naman siya magbo-boom. So hindi siya lalaki, hindi din siya kikita. So yung kailangan natin is i-invest natin siya into into other businesses para magkaroon din tayo ng identical sum. So yung mga earnings natin. So hindi lang meron ka 100 pesos is 100 pesos lang siya at the end of the year. So, hindi, di ba? So, kapag yung 100 pesos mo is in-invest mo sa isang business, at the end of the year, pwede siyang mag-triple or pwede ngang tumaas pa, di ba? So, next is the important concept which applies to all areas of financial management. One is principle of finance. Money can earn interest. So, yun na nga, yung sinabi ko. Yung money natin is kailangan natin i-invest. Huwag natin itago na sa sulok, di ba? Invest natin siya ng i-invest. At the end of the time, magkakaroon tayo ng mas malaking kita. Then, it helps with determination of future worth. So, syempre, kapag meron tayong investment, ina-adhead na natin yung future natin, di ba? Na meron na tayong kukunin kapag magkakaroon tayo ng mga emergencies, meron tayong makukuha. Kung malugi man yung investment na pinasukan natin ng money natin, at least may makukuha ka naman doon, di ba, sa mga bonds na yun. See to it lang na yung investan mo ng money mo is talagang lahat ng papers niya is legal. Or kumbaga, tingnan natin yung mga financial nila, di ba? I-check natin yung kung wala silang lugi or hindi sila na bankrupt, mga ganun. So, last is be rational investor. So, ano ba yung be rational investor? Yung mga rational investor kasi, yung iniisip nila is hindi lang pang ngayon. Iniisip nila yung future pa. So, kung meron silang pera ngayon, anong gagawin nila dito para mapalaki? So, ganun yung rational investor. So, dapat tayo is maging rational investor din tayo. At the same time, maging wise. Thank you.